Cathie Woods shares her top 3 crypto picks that she's all in on right now, and new FUD has come out regarding Mantra, the second largest RWA project right now. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, AltcoinBuzzIO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Alright you guys, today is the day. Today is FOMC day and the Fed rate decision day. We're going to have to see what happens, but pretty much nothing has happened overnight. We are kind of sitting around $83,500 still like we were yesterday. We dumped a little bit yesterday, then we came back, so nothing major has happened really. We're pretty much just chopping around the same price right now. I do expect maybe leading into FOMC later today, we have a little bit of a pump, but then ultimately it really depends on what happens. Like we said in the video yesterday, you can kind of see my whole comprehensive idea of what I expect to happen and the probabilities. But I think more or less what's going to happen is we have a small pump, no rate cut, and then we dump down here at some point in the next week or so, unless there's something super bullish that comes out, something super definitive, like this next thing that I'm about to show. So we have Justin, President Trump's executive director on digital assets, says we talked about ways of acquiring more Bitcoin in a budget neutral way.
Well, we delivered on the president's promises that he made on the campaign trail. The president was adamant about creating the SBR. We wanted to make sure that we did it right in a way that respected Bitcoin for being so unique, and also gave credence to innovation in other spaces of the digital asset world. So, for us here, we look at Bitcoin, it's not a security, it's a commodity. It has intrinsic stored value that's traditionally accepted. It has, as David likes to describe, the immaculate conception. There's no issuer. And that's why, as you saw in the executive order, we compared this to digital gold. It's something that's imperative for the United States to have, retain, continue to build on. And I think that's worth pointing out that the way that this is constructed, we talked about ways of acquiring more Bitcoin in budget neutral ways that won't cost the taxpayer a dime. And what I like to say about this president, I think it's high time that our president started accumulating assets for the American people, which is what President Trump is doing, rather than taking it away. And I think that's one thing that we really wanted to make clear in this executive order. And we're looking forward to working with our partners at Treasury and the Secretary of Commerce in order to find those budget neutral ways in which we can acquire more. I've been asked all the time, it's like, how much do you want? And I said, well, that's like asking a country, how much gold do you want, right? I mean, as much as we can get.
And then moving on, we also have the Vanex CEO who shared his views on Bitcoin and assets like Solana, saying this.
You guys are big Bitcoin proponents. You've done a fantastic job there. You support the Bitcoin ecosystem. There's a bunch of stuff that you guys are doing. But you also, I think, have an understanding that there is a broader industry of assets, and sometimes it makes sense to have exposure to Bitcoin, sometimes it makes sense to have exposure elsewhere. You've got a liquid fund where you guys are trading in and out of these assets. Just talk about like Bitcoin's role with these other things, right? So it doesn't mean that these other funds necessarily have no Bitcoin. It's just in January, maybe it's a good time to have Bitcoin. In February, maybe it's not, right? And trying to kind of think through these market cycles and the macro backdrop.
I look at Bitcoin's very different from other digital assets. I just look at it totally different. I say, look, add Bitcoin, it's sort of a store of value, gold type of asset, whatever you feel comfortable with there. The others are really, I would say, aggressive growth equity type of an allocation, right? An allocation to Solana or what have you. I mean, that's, to me, like semiconductors or nuclear energy, SMRs and that kind of stuff.
And then we also have Cathie Wood and her top 3 coins.
That there are only certain crypto assets that will gain the most spoils. What do buyers need to be aware of?
That the millions of meme coins will probably end up worthless. So when we're talking about the big 3, we're talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. The use cases for those are multiplying. And we think they're going to become very important in the years ahead. Meme coins, not so.
Hey Americans, we found an exchange that gives you the best of both worlds, and Canadians as well. Want to trade spot markets on over 400 trading pairs, and without KYC? You can. Want to trade perpetual markets on over 150 trading pairs with KYC that accepts Americans and Canadians? You can. The only exchange that we've seen in the market that lets you do both simple spot trading without KYC and perps trading with KYC that Americans can use is BYDFi. BYDFi, like other tier 1 exchanges, always has a few things going on at once. For example, one of their most popular services is their copy trading service. This lets you copy how the most profitable traders on the platform are trading so you can trade like them. And just recently, copy trading became accessible outside of the BYDFi app and on the PC when you log in through the browser. BYDFi makes a lot of moves like this to make great services available to traders, regardless of where they trade. Their lack of KYC for spot trading and easy customer onboarding place them at the top of all crypto exchanges. The exchange also has a lot of new tokens to trade on either spot or perps markets. Some of these include meme coins like JLStool and Broccoli, high flyers like IP and IGN, and popular small caps like GPS and Quai. The point is, BYDFi has many of the coins you want to trade right here. And for the rest of March, BYDFi has a promo going on that's a trading competition just for the Altcoin Buzz community. There's rewards for trading volume, weekly ROI, and total ROI. And for all, winners earn some USDT deposited right into your BYDFi account. You can start earning bonuses to help give your account that extra dry powder it needs. So if you haven't checked out BYDFi yet, now's the time to try it. Just use the link down below, sign up, and start trading. So Cathie Wood and ARK Invest are all in on Bitcoin, Solana, and ETH. And speaking of Solana, we have the Seeker season. So this is Solana's second phone, the Solana Seeker, which was supposed to be a cheaper one than the last one. It's currently in testing and it's shipping this summer 2025. When the last phone went live, it kind of had it didn't have too many buyers at first. But then when people started airdropping a bunch of coins, like meme coins like Bonk, to the phone, which became worth more than the price of the actual phone, the phones sold out like crazy, and then they decided to launch their second phone, the Seeker phone. Now we're going to have to see how much demand this Seeker phone has. A lot of pre-orders already went in, but the market has changed. We'll have to see if people are still as enthusiastic about Solana, and their Seeker phone coming out this spring. Should be interesting. Then moving on, we also have TRX is to integrate with Solana. So Justin Sun recently said TRX will soon be on Solana, ready to buy and collaborate. So Justin Sun has just announced the plans to expand TRX to the Solana ecosystem. This could be a major shift for both networks. This integration aims to enable cross-chain compatibility between Tron and Solana, allowing direct swaps between TRX and Sol without intermediaries. By leveraging Solana's high-speed transactions, Tron users could experience lower fees and faster cross-chain transfers. Sun has also hinted that this move aligns with his goal of achieving zero-fee stablecoin transactions on Tron. This partnership signals a broader trend of collaboration between major blockchain networks, improving efficiency and interoperability. So what do you guys think? Will this be a game changer for TRX? We're going to have to see about TRX. Let's actually check this out real quick. So TRX has had a little bit of a pump, but it seems like it's already kind of starting to retrace that pump. We'll have to see what happens. I don't think it's going to be one that kind of escapes the broader market today if the news is bad at FOMC. So ideally you don't want to see it retrace this entire amount, which could happen today with bad FOMC. But ideally you want to see it just start to make higher lows, something like this where we could see it go like this and start to make higher lows and break out of this kind of big trend, downwards trend that it's in right now. You can see it's kind of down in this downwards channel. So you want it to break out of this, and this is actually like a nice level of consolidation. We can see here. It's a nice solid channel, and if it does break out of here, I'm sure it will probably go up and retest some of these levels. But this candle is actually insane on the daily chart, doing 100% in a single day. So if we can break out of this trend, this downwards trend here, I think we can head back towards at least up towards 31 cents on Tron. And we'll have to see what happens with Solana and Tron in the future. Then for Cathie Woods' other altcoin, we have breaking. Binance has just increased ETH holdings by over 600 million this week alone. This isn't your everyday move. It's a signal that something bullish is on the horizon. We also have Ethereum whales are buying aggressively. Whales always know something we don't. And that's why we buy when they do. You can see here the Ethereum balance by holder is going up like crazy for Ethereum whales. And we also have Merlin the trader saying, is Ethereum about to shock the world? ETH 2020 versus 2025 looks identical. The last time, panic turned into a historic rally. Now fear is back. Will ETH explode again? So we can see here, this is the chart in 2021. We had the pandemic of the COVID pandemic in March 2020. And then we can see the buyback hack where they stole $1.4 billion of just Ethereum on March 11th. And, we had this huge drawdown. Now will we have a reclaim where we start to pump here and then head higher towards, $10,000, which has always been the goal? We'll have to see. It seems like there's a lot of people selling ETH permanently, so we'll have to see. But I will say ETH is actually rallying today. It's up 4.5% as Bitcoin is up 1.3%. Now, that's good and bad at the same time. Every time ETH rallies ahead of other things, the whole market dumps. So it's usually a bad signal when ETH is rallying this cycle so far, unfortunately. As you can see, every time we've rallied for the past few months, every time it pumps a little bit, it has a much sharper drawdown. And unfortunately, to me, it kind of looks like it's going to do that again. It will even get back up to this level of 2200. I don't know. This is the next major level of resistance. If we want to be bullish on ETH, we want to see this trend change. We're in a downtrend right now. So we want to see this trend change where we can break above this level, reclaim it, and then head up, and we'll start to make higher lows. And on the daily chart, the trend will actually start to change. from what is just a multi-month downtrend right now in Ethereum. Now, like I've said before, I don't actually think this is the bottom for Ethereum. I think the bottom for Ethereum will probably be this big order block at $1,500 to around $1,600 because this is a high time frame level of support down here. And I don't expect us to just, we came down to this level here, which is not a big level. It's like 18 to 17. It's not a major level. So I don't think that's going to be the actual bottom. I think usually we want to find a bigger long-term support. So I think what will happen is we'll pump up and then just dump like we always do on Ethereum. We'll come down here and then over a couple weeks to a couple months, ETH will accumulate between 1,500 and 2,000 over the next couple months and then break out. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen unless there's some major announcements happening today with the FOMC, obviously. And lastly for today, we have Mantra, which is the second biggest RWA platform. They've actually been experiencing a little bit of FUD recently. But first, they recently shared, we're beyond thrilled to share that we've successfully obtained the first DeFi license from Vera Dubai to operate as a virtual asset exchange and offer broker-dealer management and investment services. It's a milestone not just for Mantra and a key step in our journey towards expansion, but for the wider Web3 industry as well. But more recently, they said, given the magnitude of Sybil activity recently detected and the value of the relevant OM tokens, we're inviting the community members to decide on the best course of action for the Mantra ecosystem. So they have a proposal here, which is in the following proposal, we're asking you, the community, to vote on two key matters within the next 48 hours. First is determining whether to burn 26.9 million OM tokens worth about $185 million in value identified during our recent Sybil investigations, or redirect these tokens to community pool for future ecosystem development. And number two, postponing the scheduled March 18th gen drop without announcing a specific new date to prevent market timing and manipulation. So you can see they've had a lot of Sybil attacks. So it seems they shared here 123,000 out of 217,000 wallets were flagged as Sybils. They're not eligible. Given the magnitude of Sybil activity detected and OM value, we believe the community should decide on the future of these 26 million OM tokens. Run the math, it's a lot. It's $185 million. So they're basically trying to decide what to do with this airdrop because every time they do an airdrop, obviously the tokens are worth a lot of money and they get a lot of fake wallets created. And most of it is this is like more than half of the wallets were flagged as fake accounts. Obviously, they're trying to, make it fair for actual users of the Mantra ecosystem and not just people who are, farming with like thousands of different accounts to get the most amount of money because it is worth a lot of money, $185 million. So that's what's going on with Mantra. And Mantra right now, I will say, is not looking the best. We're kind of making a lower high on the high time frame on the daily chart. You can see here, we broke through this market structure, and now we're retesting from the other side at $7.12. So I don't think this is the most bullish, but we still have time. The daily can still close above here. If it does close above this level and then reclaims here, then it's pretty bullish, and we can go back towards new all-time highs. And Mantra has been one of those tokens that, despite what the rest of the market is doing, you can see Bitcoin here, just for the last couple of months, just in a downtrend. Mantra has actually been holding up really well, in around the same amount of time. So this is 2025. So this is after the market started going down. Mantra kept going up from around $4 all the way up to $9.17. So Mantra has actually held up one of the best tokens wise, but it looks like it might be its time to start, retracing. And unfortunately, I do think if we don't close above this level here around $7, I do think we're probably coming back down towards these levels, maybe even as low as $4.30. So it could look something like this, where we come up here, we reject, and we start to do this little bit of downtrend if FOMC is bad as well. And then maybe we do a high time frame reaccumulation around here. It really depends on what happens with these tokens. Although I will say, if the proposal does come out and they decide to burn 185 million tokens, that is probably very bullish, and we will break back above, and Mantra will continue higher, and this will just be, another higher low as it goes on to, defy the rest of the crypto market and head higher. So that's another possibility as well. If they just burn 185 million tokens, this could just be, on a high time frame, another higher, lower high, It could just be something like this. On a high time frame, the weekly chart, Mantra's just going like this, and it's going to continue higher just like that. So that's another possibility as well, because Mantra is one that just seems to defy the rest of the market. But we'll have to really see what happens with the, the voting in the next 48 hours. And what happens with FOMC. But that is my thoughts currently on Mantra. If it doesn't, break above this key level here at $7, then I think it's going back down, and you'll be able to buy it for cheaper if you want to later. That is the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We're really going to have to kind of wait and see what happens with FOMC later today, and then we'll obviously share all the details tomorrow. But we're holding up actually just about $84,000. So like I thought, we might have a slight pump going into FOMC, as maybe there's some speculation going on. We have a slight pump, even up to $87,000. And then we could see a sell-off. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.